again, everybody, and welcome to McCown Gymnasium on the campus of Winona State University as HBC Channel 25 Sports presents high school basketball. It is the 23rd annual Lewiston-Altura Warrior Club Holiday Basketball Tournament. I'm Justin Barrientos along with Rick Thiesse, and kicking off the tournament this year is the Lanesboro Burros girls against the Lewiston-Altura Cardinals girls. Lanesboro at 3-1 on the season, Lewiston-Altura at 1-4. And Rick, one of the great things about this tournament is you get teams that maybe don't play each other all that often coming together to play basketball here at Winona State University. But one of the bad things is this is the time of year when a lot of people are on trips, a lot of people get sick, and so sometimes these teams aren't at full strength, just like Lanesboro.
Exactly, and Lanesboro is a huge thing right there, Justin. In fact, Lanesboro's got 9 kids right now who are on a trip across the seas. They are nowhere to be found, so they will not be playing tonight. So that will put Lanesboro maybe at a little bit of a disadvantage per se, but it gives Terry Hyam a chance to kind of look at some other players, get them in the rotation, get them in a good flow. So sometimes when you get in these holiday tournaments, it's almost there's some bad points to it, but there's some good points to it too, because it kind of gives you some momentum to get some other kids in the play. So just in case by chance you're caught with injuries or, like you said, illness, you can kind of bring up some kids who have got some experience during these holiday tournaments to use them during the rest of the regular season and on to the playoffs.
That's right. For Lanesboro, they brought up a couple of freshmen to play with the varsity squad today to be able to field a full team and take on Lewiston-Altura. Rick, though, for Lewiston-Altura, they are looking to rebound a little bit from their last game.
Yeah, exactly. They scored their first points didn't really come until about 9 minutes left in the first half, which is not good, especially going into now. So now this is kind of one of those areas where you're able to kind of reevaluate, see where you can go on from here, and go on to the rest of the season, hopefully to get some momentum here. And that's where playoffs come into, or the tournaments like these come into play.
It's the first of 4 games here tonight on HBC Channel 25. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the starting lineups and the tip-off for the holiday tournament right here on Channel 25.
Gold's Pharmacy has been proudly serving your community since 1888. Gold's Pharmacy offers its customers fast and efficient service with the use of today's newest technology. Gold's Pharmacy has fast access to your records and medicine history, so you can be confident that your prescriptions are safe and accurate. Gold's also offers a variety of medical supplies for your convenience. For example, let our helpful staff fit you with medical stockings tailored for your individual needs. Gold's Pharmacy, proudly serving your community since 1888.
There are just a couple times in life when you are required to choose a new path for yourself. You want to go someplace new, but where you will belong. A place that elevates you to your highest potential. Winona State University is a place where you can make a difference in school and in life. Join in. Stand out.
Bear and a senior from Winona Senior High School, Lance Mayo.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in
Lewiston-Altura Tournament Basketball on HBC TV is brought to you by Security State Bank Lewiston, Wyckoff, Ostrander, Spring Valley, and Hoka. See Security State Bank for all your financial needs. A full-service bank, member FDIC.
After victory number 2 on the year, and the Lanesboro High School Burros currently 2-1, seeking victory number 3. The visitors will be the Burros. A forward standing 5'8". She's a senior, number 13, Jordan Darling. At a guard, standing 5'5", 21, Brittany Johnson. A senior guard, standing 5'6", number 23, Melissa Hansen. At guard, standing 5'9", she's a senior, number 31, Jamie Darling. And rounding out the lineup for the Burros, a senior 6-footer, number 45, Yvonne Freese. Head coach for Lanesboro, Terry Hyam, assisted by James Semin, Cody Hungerholt, and Lindsay Mace. And now introducing the Lewiston-Altura Cardinals, seeking victory number 2, guard 5'6", a junior, number 1, Emily Reps. A senior guard standing 5'6", number 23, Angela Harstad. A guard, a senior, number 24, Judy Munt. The center, she's a senior, number 45, Sharara Rin. Rounding out the lineup, wearing number 51, a 5'4" senior guard, Alyssa Franson. Head coach for the Cardinals, Greta Berthine. Today's referees, Randy Lasowski and Mike Snader. Let's play winning Warrior Holiday Basketball Tournament.
Well, as you heard, the Lewiston-Altura Cardinals will be the home team on the scoreboard. The Lanesboro Burros will be the visitors. And as we said, Lanesboro coming into this game with a record of 3-1. Lewiston-Altura 1-4, and on the season, Lewiston-Altura has been led by Alyssa Franzen, number 51, scoring 84 points in the team's 5 games this season.
Boy, just looking at the teams right now, as you see them coming on the court right now, the height advantage right now really will go towards Lanesboro's side of things. Lewiston is a very small team, and when you get small teams, they're going to probably have to push it up the court, so we'll have to see what happens here today.
The opening tip is won by Lanesboro. Jordan Darling with the ball, passes inside, and a nice shot off the glass by Yvonne Freese.
Right away, just pounded it inside. Nice little turnaround jumper in the paint, and gets the Burros an early lead.
Down court, Angela Harstad kicks it out to Franson from outside, misses. It's tipped, saved from going out of bounds by Lanesboro. A nice play by Jordan Darling.
Pushing it up the court right away. It'll be interesting to see now what Lewiston does if they go zone, or man, it looks like they're going zone.
At the point, Jamie Darling for Lanesboro.
3-2 zone, going to make him push it to the outside.
Top of the key, that was Jamie Darling with the shot.
Well, there went that idea right away. 3-2 zone right away, and you punch it to the outside up to the top of the key. Puts the Burros up early 4-0.
Well, again, it's all a learning process here at the holiday tournament, trying to feel out these teams and see what they're going to do. There's a shot that goes over the basket, put up by Franson. The ball rolls out of bounds, and it will be Cardinal basketball.
Well, the Burros play in the tough Southeast Conference. I mean, you've got Leroy Ostrander, Spring Grove, Lanesboro, the top 3 teams along with Grand Meadow. And, of course, Mabel Canton's always one of the toughest teams in that conference as well.
Of course, we saw Spring Grove just a couple of weeks ago when we had Hope Lutheran basketball here on Channel 25. There, Franson misses the shot underneath, gets her own rebound twice, and then puts it up high off the glass.
That was good defense by Lanesboro. They had their hands straight up in the air trying to make sure they didn't foul, but a nice job by Franson to get it up on off the board.
So now a 2-point lead for Lanesboro. 3-pointer by Jamie Darling, misses, and a rebound by Franson.
Kind of pushed that one a little bit, kind of just off the side, so Lewiston will now push it up to try and get some more offense going here early on.
Bounce pass in the corner, looking for Reps, and then her pass intercepted by Darling.
First turnover of the day so far for Lewiston.
Outside jumper is in for Jordan Darling. 6 points for Lanesboro from 3 different players.
Pretty
Jordan
well
and Jamie
balanced so
Darling in
far.
threes.
Balanced so far, and that's what you like to see, especially again, with Lanesboro having 9 of their players gone for the tournament.
And there's an outside jumper that's missed by Judy Munt. You know, not only is Lanesboro missing some of their players, they're missing some of their starters.
Yep.
There's an outside jumper, it's just short. Darling with the rebound, and Jamie Darling now with 4 points.
Easy rebound, nobody boxed her out. She was able to wiggle herself right on in there to get the easy rebound and put it up for the easy 2.
Angela Harsford looking inside, and that is saved from going out of bounds by Munt. She kicks it out to Reps for an outside jumper. And rebound by Hansen.
A good kick out. She had the shot opportunity there for about 12 feet out, just did not go for her.
Outside jumper, good there for Melissa Hansen.
Boy, that's a great way to beat a 3-2 zone like that, is you punch it down to the baseline. If you got somebody who can hit those easy shots on the baseline, boy, it's going to make the Lewiston-Altura change their defense a little bit.
4th different person scoring for Lanesboro. Deep 3-point shot is good for Judy Munt.
That's one of the nice, easiest 3-pointers you'd get. Right off the top of the key, you'll get a straight-on shot to that hoop. Nice job there by Munt.
5-point lead now for Lanesboro as they try to go in the paint area. That one was missed by Freeze, and then a rebound by Harsford.
Again, a smaller squad. When you're a smaller squad like Lewiston-Altura, you really need to box out well. Nice job there to get their easy rebound for the Cardinals.
Kick, and it will remain Cardinal basketball. Harstead will inbound for the Cardinals.
That's the challenge when you're a squad like Lewiston-Altura. You got to decide, are you going to rush, push it up the court? Are you going to put some pressure on Lanesboro? And unfortunately, that shot did not go, but now the pressure is on the defense of the Cardinals to try and stop the Burros from getting an easy 2.
Freeze with the try underneath for the Cardinals, and then Alyssa Franzen comes away with the steal. Harstad over to Reps, and then a steal by the Burros. 3-point try is good for Hansen.
She was looking for the rest of her players coming down to the court. She decided she had the easy shot. She just put it up. Nice decision making again. Looking for the big girls to come down first, and since they weren't open, she took the easy shot and made the 3.
Foul will be called on Hansen reaching in. It is the first on Hansen and the first foul of the ball game. A couple of substitutions. Lanesboro will substitute in Paige Hunderholt, number 43. And we'll see number 41, Brianna Heim, in for the Cardinals. From outside, that jumper is missed by Munt, and the Burros take over.
5 rebounds already for the Burros, and their height is taking advantage here and getting another easy 2 there.
Hansen now with 7 points on the night. She's outscoring the Cardinals right now.
Yep. Easy shots, all of them based right on that baseline.
That is Franzen from outside, and a 3-pointer good for Alyssa Franzen.
Well, Alyssa Franzen is one of their top point getters for the Cardinals, so go figure, she got a nice shot, found the opportunity and put it up.
She's 4 of 5 from 3-point land. Actually make that 5 of 6 from 3-point land now tonight. And Jamie Darling with the bucket for the Burros.
They're very balanced so far. They're showing a very balanced attack right now as Lanesboro.
4 players have scored for the Burros. There is a 3-pointer no good for Harstad, now out of bounds. And more substitutions for Lanesboro. Emma McGrath, number 35, checking in.
Looked like Brooke Schilling also checked in for Lewiston-Altura, and I believe we got a timeout.
Greta Verthine calls timeout for Lewiston-Altura. We will take a break here on Channel 25, 17-8. Lanesboro leading. We'll be back with more after this.
Gold's Pharmacy has been proudly serving your community since 1888. Gold's Pharmacy offers its customers fast and efficient service with the use of today's newest technology. Gold's Pharmacy has fast access to your records and medicine history, so you can be confident that your prescriptions are safe and accurate. Gold's also offers a variety of medical supplies for your convenience. For example, let our helpful staff fit you with medical stockings tailored for your individual needs. Gold's Pharmacy, proudly serving your community since 1888.
Lewiston-Altura Tournament Basketball on HBC TV is brought to you by Security State Bank Lewiston, Wyckoff, Ostrander, Spring Valley, and Hoka. See Security State Bank for all your financial needs, a full-service bank, member FDIC.
12:08 left to go here in the first half. 17-8 your score. Lanesboro leading Lewiston-Altura, and there an outside jumper is good by Jamie Darling. She now has 8 points on the game.
Boy, I tell you, right now this Lanesboro team is very well coached. They are getting very good shots, easy shots, and they are putting it up with ease right now against the smaller Lewiston-Altura squad.
In the paint, that one was no good for Schilling, and then a rebound by McGrath for the Burros.
So far, 6 rebounds now for the Burros.
Darling misses, but an offensive rebound by the Burros. Fortunately out of bounds. McGrath had a foot on the line, and the Cardinals will take over.
First turnover for the Burros this afternoon. And at the 11.5-minute mark, too. That's good coaching.
You bet. 11-point lead for Lanesboro, especially when they didn't really know who they were going to have out there on the floor. And that is stolen away by Freeze. Tipped by the Cardinals and then stolen away.
As soon as I say that, that's the second turnover of them right away. Oh!
Heim going up for the shot, fouled by Darling. And Jamie Darling picks up her second team foul on the Burros. Kind of one of those fouls that you almost have to take.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Can't give them a freebie shot, freebie layup like that. So it's a smart foul, very smart foul.
Heim knocks down the first free throw.
Brianna Heim, a junior, forward for the Cardinals.
1 of 2 from the free throw line. Hansen with the outside jumper. Couple of misses underneath, and Heim comes away with the rebound for the Cardinals.
Tell you one thing the Burros really do is they really rebound well. Their hands are full straight up. They're not leaning over somebody's back. Again, well done by the Burros so far. And again, right there, great block, body straight up, not reaching to put the block in their hands. Not putting their arms in a 45-degree angle. That's a good defense.
Outside, and that is good for Paige Hungerholt.
The Hungerholt name is very well known in the Lanesboro area. Another athlete.
Foul underneath, and they will catch Emma McGrath. That'll be her first and team third.
Got her with the body that time. She again tried to go for the block, but used her body to push her outside.
Emily Reps 2 of 4 from the free throw line this season. Jordan Darling back in for the Burros.
Brooke Heim also checking in for the Cardinals. So both Brianna and Brooke Heim are both out there now.
Reps 1 of 2. Also see a return to the lineup for Angela Harstad, number 23 for the Cardinals.
Emily keeps her 1 for 2 on the 50% right there.
That's right. 12-point lead. Lanesboro trying to add to it. Hungerholt lost it in the paint. It was stolen away by Schilling, and then knocked out of bounds, remains Cardinal basketball.
Well, the things about a smaller team is your hands need to be very quick, especially if you're going to go for those steals and reaches. You have to make sure that your hand goes in and out really fast to make sure you're able to tip that ball away and cause a possible turnover. Good job by the Cardinals there.
Good inside-out passing. They got the open shot. That one was missed. Schilling with the rebound. And a foul is called on Brittany Johnson, her first, 4th team foul for the Burros. Cardinals have yet to commit a foul tonight. Brooke Schilling knocks down the first free throw for the Cardinals. Number 15, Miranda Walbridge, in for the Burros.
That's
and 1 for 2 Schillings. That keeps that percentage there at 50% still. Tipped away, and a good play by Brookheim, number 44.
the Cardinals have gone man-to-man now. And I believe they caught Brookheim on a reach there.
And so that will be her first and the first team foul for the Cardinals.
It's tough to play man-to-man when everybody has about a 2 to 3 inch height advantage on you.
Just have to work that much harder on defense, which will tire you out.
Exactly right. Good box out there by the Cardinals. Nice job there by, I believe it was Yvonne Rin, who did a nice box out job there, or Heim, excuse me. One of the three. Heim, I think it was actually. Brookheim with the box out.
Cardinals take over following the ball going out of bounds. It goes down court, underneath the basket. Nice scoop by Schilling, doesn't fall. And a rebound to Jordan Darling. Open shot, just short by Walbridge. And the Cardinals get the rebound. It was Shariah Rin who was able to get the rebound for the Cardinals. And that time Harstad was looking for a teammate who cut outside. Pass went inside, and the Burros take over.
Last time the Burros had the ball, Walbridge had an easy 10-footer. She could have just dribbled and made it a 5-footer. She was so wide open. This time, nice passing by the Burros to get it inside, but they couldn't finish it off.
Unfortunately, Freeze didn't really know where she was on the court.
Exactly.
Went up for the shot and hit the side of the backboard. And there, Brookheim with the basket.
Well, right now, the Lewiston-Altura bench has done a good job. 4 points so far coming off the bench for the Cardinals has kept them in this game.
Looking inside for Freeze, and it's tipped out of bounds. Emily Reps back in for the Cardinals, and Jamie Darling back in for the Burros.
Going to give Freeze a little bit of a break here. Go to a little bit of a smaller lineup for the Burros. Not that much smaller, but a little bit smaller.
Again, side of the backboard. Jordan Darling, a little too far underneath the hoop. Goes out of bounds, Cardinal basketball.
Much better effort than the last game for the Cardinals, since they only had their first field goal with 9 minutes left to play. So the Cardinals have really stepped it up so far early on in this game. Unfortunately, they've run into a bigger sized team right now in the Burros.
I wonder how much playing on a college court rather than a high school court factors into.
Well, in the high school gyms are much smaller, and so it's a lot easier to see the rims. So in this kind of a facility, it's a little bit different. It kind of gets a little bit to get used to, because the basket is farther away from the wall and everything. So nice job rebound there for Lewiston-Altura. I believe that was Rin who got that.
First points for Rin tonight. And now just a 7-point lead. Here's a 3-point try that just hits the iron. That'll go out of bounds, and it will be Cardinal basketball. As the Cardinals slowly but surely staying in this one, chipping away at the lead. Hansen and Freeze back in for the Burros.
Burros are doing a nice job bringing in fresh girls. They're giving them a sit down for a couple minutes and bringing them back on the court. So they have a good rotation, even though they've lost 9 kids in this tournament. Oh, nice give and go. Unfortunately, it just did not fall for Lewiston there.
Lanesboro with a chance to add to their lead. 6:43 left to go here in the first half.
Man-to-man defense. You want to keep them in front of you, not let the ball, not to get the player away from you away, and that's a nice job defense by the Lewiston-Altura Cardinals to sucker him into that play.
Franzen with the steal for the Cardinals, and then down court. Schilling wisely passed off. Didn't really have a shot underneath the basket. And then a try by Franzen is blocked, and the Burros have it. Good delay.
Oh, nice job.
Unfortunately, Hansen couldn't get the shot to fall. And then a foul underneath.
I think actually they called a jump ball, Justin.
Oh, I think you're right, yep.
Boy, the one time Franzen had the ball down there, she got herself nice wide open, and all of a sudden the defense clamped on her and she tried to force it over him. She should have just punched it back out, reset herself back up to get another opportunity down low.
Judy Muntz back into the lineup for the Cardinals, along with Brianna Heim.
Nice job there by Franzen, going right into the big girl to force her to foul.
Foul is called on Freeze. That'll be her first, team 5th. Franzen misses her first free throw attempt of the night.
Again,
32 of 48 on the season.
Free throws right here is a key thing right now, because you're trying to get yourself situated where that rim really is compared to that back wall. Tough for younger players to get used to that change.
Freeze was all alone under the basket there for a while for Lanesboro.
Yep.
She called for that pass. No one saw her. But the Burros retain possession.
If the Cardinals could get a little bit of a run, they'd make this game closer than it really is.
From the elbow, that one doesn't go. Rebound shot was missed by Darling, and the Cardinals come away with it.
Right now, the Burros are totally dominating on the glass right now, 13-6.
Franzen back inside for Harstad off the glass.
Nice little spin move there inside by Harstad. She made a nice little pivot move, sucked the defense outside, and spun underneath her for the easy two. Nice job by Harstad, the senior.
Now just a 5-point Lanesboro lead, and all 5 of the Cardinal starters have scored, and they're stolen away. Heim able to get a hand on it. She gets the ball back on the pass. Can't get the free throw or get the layup to go. Fell a little awkwardly to the court. Appears to be okay. Franzen got a hand on it, but Freeze able to get it back, and Freeze will head to the free throw line.
Just couldn't get herself set. I think she kind of lost track of where her footing was Heim going up for that layup, and just couldn't finish it off, and that's when the Burros took advantage, and now we're on the free throw line for 2.
Foul was called on Brianna Heim for the Cardinals, her first, team 2nd. This is the first free throw attempt for the Burros tonight, and Freeze could not connect. Sarah Pekanowski, number 11, in for the Cardinals.
Pekanowski, a senior guard.
Whitney Johnson, number 21, back in for Lanesboro. Three-point try for Lewiston-Altura is good by Judy Munt, her second 3 of the night.
Wow, and that had beautiful spin coming off right off the hand, and all of a sudden we've got Lewiston-Altura on a 7-0 run right now to pull them back within 2.
4:10 left to go here in the first half. Hunger Holtz to the free throw line, foul.
Nice move there by Hunger Holt to drive inside the paint, put it up for a layup, and get fouled. Puts her in the free throw line for 2.
Pekanowski called for the foul for Lewiston-Altura, her first, third team foul.
Paige Hungerholt, a freshman. This girl, you can tell right now, she's got a good athletic body on her. She can really be able to remove that ball, rotate that ball, and she can dribble, pass, has a pretty nice release on the free throw.
Hungerholt 1 of 2 on the free throw line, 4 points tonight. Three-pointer by Franzen is off the mark, and Freeze with the rebound.
Another good rebound by the Burros. Totally dominating the rebounding right now.
Darling from the free throw line. Jump ball, and it will be Burro basketball.
Kind of like Darling, that she's a senior guard. She looks like she's just got that leadership mentality right now. She just goes after that ball right away. Bad pass though, however.
Oh, unfortunately, Freeze was not looking when the pass came in from the sidelines, and that's a bucket on the other end for Munt.
Wow, and again, the Cardinals have pulled it within one. If they looked like they were down by 9, 11 points, now they pull it back within 1. Nice job by the Cardinals to stay in this game.
Hansen looking to make a move on Pekanowski. Nothing there, tipped out of bounds by Reps, and remains Burro basketball.
And I think Terry Higham, the coach for Lanesboro, is going to call timeout, talk to his girls.
A 1-point lead for Lanesboro. We'll take a break on Channel 25. Back with more Warrior Club Holiday Basketball Tournament right after this.
College is one of the first times in life where you choose your own path. You want an environment with a lot of opportunities to explore. And you want personal attention and small group experiences where you can make a real impact. Winona State University is a place where you can make a difference in school and in life. Join in, stand out.
Lewiston-Altura Tournament Basketball on HBC TV is brought to you by Security State Bank, Lewiston, Wyckoff, Ostrander, Spring Valley, and Hoka. See Security State Bank for all your financial needs, a full-service bank member, FDIC.
Justin Barrientos alongside Rick Thiesse here on HBC Channel 25, in a game that looked like it would be a blowout early. Turns out to be a pretty close game here with 3:13 left to go in the first half. Lanesboro clinging to a 1-point lead over Lewiston-Altura.
Smart timeout by Coach Terry Higham. He saw that his girls were just not really moving around to get open in the ball. So they're looking like they're going to change their offense a little bit and try and make something happen instead of waiting for something to happen. So a nice, good timeout by Terry.
Judy Muntz called for the foul for the Cardinals, her first, team fourth, and Lanesboro will inbound. Looking underneath the basket, and a foul will be called on Lanesboro.
Not a smart foul there by Freeze. She was looking to, she had the defender in front of her. She tried to lean over to try and catch the ball and got called for an over the back.
Second foul on Freeze, 6th team foul, so that's kind of dangerous. You don't want Freeze to pick up a third foul here in the first half.
Which gives the momentum, a little bit more momentum for the Cardinals if that happens. Good head fake there by the Cardinals.
Pekanowski. And then a steal by Hungerholt for Lanesboro. And now here come the Burros.
There's one thing that's really held back the Cardinals right now, it's turnovers. They've got 6 so far, and that's now the 4th for Lanesboro.
Hungerholt collided with Brianna Heim right around the paint area, and then Hungerholt took another step back, and the travel call.
Cardinals have a chance to take the lead here. First time tonight. I should say this afternoon.
Brianna Heim has it knocked away, and a steal by Brittany Johnson. Underneath the basket, what a shot by Hansen.
That was all set up by Johnson's defense. She saw the opportunity. The ball was low. As an offensive player, you don't want to just hold on to the ball out by your chest because that's an easy way to steal the ball. Nice job by Johnson and an easy 2 for the Burros.
Back to a 3-point lead, and a foul that time on Johnson.
That time Johnson got her hand caught in the cookie basket, in the cookie jar. Cookie basket, cookie jar, whatever you want to say. She got her hand caught. That's going to put the Cardinals at the free throw line for the rest of the first half.
Checking back in for Lanesboro will be Jordan Darling, number 13. 45, Shariah Rinn back in for the Cardinals, along with number 23, Harstad. Short on the free throw. From outside, no good. Followed.
Forced that shot up, and then she throws the turnover. Then she gets it right back. Makes up for the turnover.
Jamie Darling now with 10 points for Lanesboro.
She made a mistake. She made up for it on the steal. Nice job there by the senior.
Reps over to Franzen. Franzen will pause. Back to Reps in the paint. Emily Reps off the glass, a little too strong. And a rebound by Johnson.
The Cardinals need a rush here. They're down by 5 now all of a sudden after pulling it within 1.
Underneath the basket, freeze, count that, and the foul.
Again, there's the height advantage right now for the Burros. Freeze just kept her arms straight up, grabbed that rebound, put it back up, and got fouled. Possible 3-point opportunity for the Burros.
Shariah Rinn called for the foul for the Cardinals. Brooke Schilling and Brooke Hine back in for Lewiston-Altura. Freeze now 0 for 3 from the free throw line as Muntz grabs the rebound for Lewiston-Altura.
There's one game big players have a problem with. It's free throws, and that showed right there by Freeze.
Miss underneath, Freeze there for the rebound. Outlets to Johnson. Johnson 1 on 3.
And she put it up. She had it. She was going for it right away. You could see it right away how she was working it.
Steal by Darling. And Darling will head to the free throw line. Another foul on Shariah Rinn, her second, team 6th.
One thing the Cardinals can't afford is to get in a foul trouble right now. Again, they had pulled it within 1. Now all of a sudden the Burros have gone themselves on a 6-0 run, make it a 7-0 run now.
Darling knocks down her first free throw. Bryn Harmon, number 50, and Paige Hungerholt, number 43, back in for Lanesboro.
And they're gonna take Freeze out to make sure she doesn't pick up her 3rd foul before the halftime.
Darling good on both free throws. Now 12 points for Darling today.
Cardinals need a good shot here. Take their time, get a good easy shot here to pull it within 7 or 6.
Harstad. Bounce pass to Schilling. Then they go inside, back out to Harstad. 2-pointer is no good. Offensive rebound and a miss by Munt. About a second left to go. The shot down court is no good. And Lanesboro will head to the locker room with a 31-22 lead over Lewiston-Altura. We will take a break here on HBC Channel 25 and back with more Warrior Club Tournament basketball in just a little while.
Gold's Pharmacy has been proudly serving your community since 1888. Gold's Pharmacy offers its customers fast and efficient service with the use of today's newest technology. Gold's Pharmacy has fast access to your records and medicine history, so you can be confident that your prescriptions are safe and accurate. Gold's also offers a variety of medical supplies for your convenience. For example, let our helpful staff fit you with medical stockings tailored for your individual needs. Gold's Pharmacy, proudly serving your community since 1888.
And welcome to the Sports Authority here on HBC Channel 25. Dean Beckman, Justin Barrientos, and Paul Van Beek. And this is our last show for a couple of weeks. We won't be back until New Year's again, so we have to cram 2 weeks worth of information into one. Now, Paul here thinks I've got too much on the agenda. I'm going to prove him wrong. We're going to get through it all. At least I hope so. And we're going to start with a very impressive Minnesota Vikings victory over the Arizona Cardinals last Sunday. And Tavares Jackson, guys, may have won himself a starting role not only next year for the Vikings, but looks like the rest of this year too, Justin.
Well, he's going to start this week against the Falcons, so I think he's got a 140 or 147 quarterback rating the 2 games that he's been in, taking over for Farrat and then starting last week. But the question, I guess, to you is, since you followed the Cardinals a little bit more, is this the Arizona Cardinals that you've seen all season long, or do the Vikings play a team that maybe isn't quite ready?
Yeah, I think the Vikings got him at the right time. The Cardinals have been terrific at home. Their only loss at home was to the Giants, and they played the Giants pretty well there. So this was definitely an aberration, at least for a home game. And I think the Cardinals resting on their laurels a little bit, Paul, after winning the division, didn't know how to respond, how to react. The Vikings come in red hot right now. They had something to play for. The Cardinals didn't, and Adrian Peterson ran all over him, and that certainly opened things up for Jackson a little bit.
Well, I think what happened was the Vikings kind of gave him a couple of shots to the head right away that kind of stunned the Cardinals, and the Vikings just kind of controlled the game after that, because you take a look at that, they stop him on that first possession, get the punt return for a touchdown by Barrientos, and then shortly after that they get the long bomb to Barrientos for the touchdown. So I think it was a matter that they maybe shocked him a little bit early on, got him, they were a little phased there at the start of the ballgame. And when I talked last week about what the Vikings needed to do to win the game was they had to get pressure on Kurt Warner with their front four, and they were able to do it. Now, they did do a nice job of mixing in some blitzes that caused some problems for Warner, but they were able to, Jaron Allen, able to get pressure by himself, a couple of sacks. The Vikings had 4 sacks, but they continually got to him, hurried the ball, made him hurry or knocked it down, and they were able to play a dime defense because they got up early, and Arizona abandoned the run, which we knew they weren't going to run that much. They only ran 7 times in the game, almost an NFL record. So they were able to basically put 6 DBs out there in a dime situation, and even if you're the Arizona Cardinals, it's tough to throw against a team that's playing 6 defensive backs, especially if you're not going to run the football.
Right. I think that game, as you said, played right into the Vikings' hands from the outset. Ken Wisenhunt, the head coach for the Cardinals, really called out Anquan Bolden this week. He said, you know, this is a whole different game if Anquan Bolden early in that first quarter makes a first down catch at about midfield. Instead, he drops the ball. They have to punt, and that's the one that Bernard Berrien returned for a touchdown. And then all heck broke loose after that. So he basically is saying our Pro Bowl players need to start playing like it. Anquan Bolden, one of them.
Yeah, and Larry Fitzgerald could have played a little bit better too, I think, but the Vikings just played well on defense. Now, do you agree with what Troy Aikman was saying during the game, that they left Kurt Warner in a little bit too long for the Cardinals?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think Ken Wisenhunt has made no secret he's not going to rest his players, probably not even in the last game unless things get out of hand against Seattle in that one. I think he's going to, I mean, he was with Pittsburgh during their championship days, and he knows you've got to go into the playoffs in some kind of rhythm, some kind of flow, and so he's going to play Kurt Warner in most of the games. They play at New England this week. If they get blown out there, I don't think we'll see Matt Leinart until midway through the 4th quarter again.
Well, I thought that maybe they could have brought him in a series earlier than they did because the Vikings were beating up on Warner back there, and he's been a guy that has not been or he's been injury prone in his career, that I think you don't want to leave him out there if you've got a blowout like it was. I think they could have took him out a little bit earlier. I don't think they really had a chance there at the end to come back, but I mean, if they seem to want to still try and get things going, even though it just was not working, and he was taking some shots. They're lucky he got out of there without an injury.
Yeah, they are. You know, now the Falcons and Giants come to the Metrodome for the last 2 weeks. The Vikings have to be careful not to look ahead to the playoffs. They're not in yet. There's still a mathematical chance that the Bears can catch them. And so the Falcons and Giants, 2 playoff-bound teams perhaps. The Vikings can't act like the Cardinals and start looking ahead to the playoffs.
Well, I like the Vikings' chances against the Falcons because of Adrian Peterson, because of the role that they seem to be on now with Tavares Jackson, and even without Pat Williams, I think the Vikings are going to be okay, because I think Fred Evans is okay. I think he's going to be able to fill that role pretty well. And it is just Pat Williams. They still have Kevin Williams. They still have Jared Allen there on defense. So I think that they're going to be able to stop Turner for the most part. I think he'll still have a fairly good day, but I like the Vikings.
Yeah, the problem with the Falcons, it's not just Turner. Matt Ryan, Roddy White, this has been easily the surprise team of the NFC. Sort of like the Dolphins of the AFC, only the Falcons probably a little bit more offensive firepower.
Now, this is a pretty good squad. Now, I don't think the Vikings are going to come into this game overlooking it because they know they're going to be without Pat Williams. They know they have to win to get in. They can't assume that the Bears are going to lose a game coming up. I think they're going to come out fired up. I think they could come out a little complacent if they win this ball game against the Giants in the last game of the year, because the Vikings may end up resting some people, which I'm not sure. I don't think they should, because if they win this week, they're on a little bit of a roll, really playing well. I don't think you can then sit your starters that next week because of how they've been playing heading into that bye week. But it's going to be a tough one. Atlanta can run the football, but obviously that's the Vikings' strength. But as you said, Roddy White, he's one of all. He wasn't a surprise in the fact that we knew he could do it. It was a surprise at how well the passing game has gone in Matt Ryan's first year as a quarterback, because traditionally first-year quarterbacks don't play that well, and he seems to be playing like a pro.
Well, and you didn't know if Roddy White was a one-year flash in the pan, if he'd have that chemistry with Ryan, but they're doing well. Should be a fun game on Sunday.
And go back to, they always said that Michael Vick couldn't pass the ball because he didn't have anybody to throw it to, but obviously that's not the case because Roddy White was there with Michael Vick.
And I think it also helps too that the Vikings or that the Bears play the night game, or Monday night, because there's no scoreboard watching. The Vikings know that they have to play well and they have to win in order to get to the playoffs.
Who will be the biggest fans for the Green Bay Packers this upcoming Sunday? Minnesota Vikings fans.
Well, maybe not. They could have it clinched, then it doesn't really matter.
They could, but if they don't, then all of a sudden we're going for the Green Bay Packers as they face the Chicago Bears. It's in Chicago. The season has not gone well. The Packers eliminated from the playoffs last week. Disappointing loss again against Jacksonville. I think the Bears, pretty obvious favorites going into this one, but with this kind of a rivalry game, you never know.
There's some infighting possibly within the Packers.
I think that's true anytime you're not winning.
Well, yeah, I mean, just look at the Cowboys, and you can see that there is finger pointing and infighting in there, too.
Well, look at, that was the case when the Vikings were struggling at the beginning of the year. But remember back, though, guys, the Packers beat the Bears 37-3 earlier, not that long ago. So they've had success against the Bears. So this is no gimme for the Bears, and with it being a rivalry game, Packers love to knock them out of the playoffs.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be a good game. Congratulations to the Pro Bowl players for both teams. The Vikings have 6 players going to the Pro Bowl: Adrian Peterson, Steve Hutchinson, Pat and Kevin Williams. Also Antoine Winfield going for the Vikings. So Jared Allen, all in all, a very good showing for Minnesota. And out of those 6, just 2 reserves, so 4 of them are going to start.
And I like that Antoine Winfield finally gets the nod. After 10 years in the NFL, he's finally a Pro Bowl player. Didn't get a whole lot of notice when he was with the Bills.
Well, and they could have included Chad Greenway. He's had a great season, leading the team in tackles, also 5 sacks, which is 3rd on the team. So he could have been another defender that it could have gone, and Matt Burke could have went as the center. He's actually an alternate, so they could have had more than 6.
Yep. Charles Woodson.
And welcome back to McCown Gymnasium. Started the second half of Lanesboro versus Lewiston-Altura here on HBC Channel 25. Lanesboro leading by 9. There's a shot that was put up by Munt, misses, and a rebound by Johnson for the Burros.
Lewiston-Altura did a nice job up until about the 4-minute mark. They did not score any more points up into that first half after they had pulled within 1. So Lewiston-Altura needs to do a better job, get better shots. Meanwhile, Lanesboro keep on doing the same thing, pushing it inside and get the outside shots when need be.
Well, we talked about the kind of scoring drought troubles for Lewiston-Altura this season, and it seems to be intermittent here today. Not a problem for Alyssa Franzen with a bucket underneath. She now has 7 points for the Cardinals.
Boy, she found just the open space right in the paint there. Did a nice job using her body, get an easy 2 points, and pull Lewiston within 7.
Melissa Hansen will come up to the point for the Burros. She'll reset the offense. Over to Jamie Darling. Then inside for Freeze, fighting through traffic to get the bucket.
Freeze had 3 players on her, all of them smaller than her. Again, all you have to do is put the ball above your head, turn around, easy 2. Nice 2 points for the Burros, and it puts them back up by 9. Good defense again by the Burros to get the rebound.
It was Freeze that got the rebound. She tried to outlet, then a jump ball, and it will be Lanesboro basketball.
Burros, once you get that outlet, boy, it seems like not only is Lanesboro taller than Lewiston, they're a little bit quicker right now. And right now, the Cardinals need to step it up just a little notch to try and match that momentum, match that flow for the Burros.
Darling blocked by Muntz. Freeze with the shot.
Boy, the 6-footer right now is really controlling everything down low.
An 11-point lead for the Burros. Reps with the bounce pass inside for Franzen, then back outside for Rinn. Harstad just off on the shot.
I wish I was keeping track of how many rebounds Freeze has, but I believe she's probably almost in double digits by now.
Freeze trying to wrestle that ball away. They will call a jump ball. It'll be Cardinal basketball this time.
Nice job by Franzen down low, doing a nice job defensively on Freeze. And you saw the difference. Freeze had a nice, easy turnaround jump shot down low. Franzen, again, it's a little smaller, a couple inches smaller than Freeze, and she had a tough time to try and shoot over top of her. She's got to try and find some space like she did earlier in the beginning of that second half.
Reps went up for the shot, and Johnson commits the foul. That'll be the 3rd foul on Brittany Johnson, the 1st foul for Lanesboro this half.
First player in foul trouble for the Burros. Freeze has 2. She's the only girl close to being in foul trouble.
Reps now 1 for 3 from the foul line as number 43, Paige Hungerholt, checks in for the Burros, in for Johnson.
The Cardinals needed to take advantage of every opportunity right now they have. They are 3 for 10 from the free throw line. Make it 3 for 11 right now, and they need to make those free throws to stay in this contest.
Jamie Darling at the point. Over to Jordan Darling. Looking inside Freeze, that's out of bounds. Cardinal basketball.
Bad turnover by the Burros. They had an opportunity to pull their lead up by 13, and they could not finish it off, giving the Cardinals, again, an opportunity to stay in this contest. Cardinals need to get a good shot. They're kind of working in, and Franzen go kind of in and out and see if they can get a good, easy shot here.
Cardinals, I believe, have trailed by as much as 15 in this game. There's a shot by Franzen that's good. She has 9 points, able to get it within 1 in that first half, and then at halftime it expanded again.
That time she found a little bit of space from Freeze, and that was why she was able to shoot it over top of her. Good job by Franzen down low, but this time I think she picked up the foul. Oh, Munt, I guess they called it on.
Munt will pick up her 2nd, team first of the half. That will send Darling to the line.
When you have a big player like that, when Franzen had the shot down low, when you have somebody right on your body, you have a tough job to get the angle to get a shot up. Where that time, again, Franzen made a little bit of a space to be able to put up the big bank shot and get the 2 points. So that's a little bit of a thing that I'm sure Coach Hyam just talked to Freeze about, is as far as her defensive spacing goes.
Free throws have kind of been lacking on both teams. Lanesboro now only with 3 makes on the night. 3 of 9 from the free throw line. There's a rebound by Jamie Darling off the miss by Munt. Good jumper by Melissa Hansen.
Boy, they really push up that ball well. When they get it, that ball in the outlet, boy, they really push that ball up, fill in the lanes when they get the running game going. And not a smart foul there on Lanesboro. Melissa Hansen, I believe, gets called with the soft foul, her 2nd.
2nd team foul as well for the Burros. And the Cardinals will inbound. Harstad looking for Franzen. It was stolen away by Freeze, out of bounds.
And I believe they're calling the ball foul on Lewiston, so they'll give the Burros the ball.
14 minutes left to go in this contest. Lanesboro leading 37-26.
But for being short 9 players, I tell you, I'd hate to see what this team would look like if they had their regular players here as well.
From the free throw line, that one was missed by Hansen, and then a foul called underneath. And they will catch Hansen. She now picks up her third team foul.
Well, Alyssa Franzen has done a really nice job down low battling the bigger, taller Burros right now.
It's Greta Vertheim, the head coach for Lewiston-Altura, trying to find a way to get her team back in this one, trailing by 11.
They were down this much earlier in the first half and made a little run. See if they can do it here.
Blocked by Darling underneath. Franzen short on the shot, saved from going out of bounds by Mundt. Tied up again, and it will be Lanesboro basketball and a jump ball.
That was a nice job by the Cardinals. They were aggressive, trying to go into the hoop, trying to get an easy 2. Unfortunately, it just did not go for them. But that's the aggressiveness they like to see, and they have to do to try and get back in this contest.
Emma McGrath, number 35, is checked back in for Lanesboro. McGrath with the ball at the elbow to Hungerholtz. Loose, picked up by the Cardinals.
Boy, nice job there by the Cardinals. They played a zone. As soon as that ball went down low, 3 people came down on the big player for the Burros.
Three-pointer by Judy Mundt. That is her 3rd triple of the night.
She's got that shot down. All 3-pointers have been either on the wing or the top of the key. Nice shots, opportunities by the Cardinals, and a good steal there by the Cardinals.
Mundt hit 13 of 33 3-point shots coming into this game, so she now has 16 on the season.
They need to keep an eye on her. And right now, the Cardinals are on a little bit of a run. This is exactly what they needed to do. And they got another turnover.
Brooke Heim with the basket for the Cardinals, and they will have the ball now down by 6 as Emily Reps checks back in for Lewiston-Altura.
Not smart basketball right there by the Burros. We're inbounding it, tried to inbound it too fast and was stepping out of the baseline to throw it in. And the turnover goes to the Cardinals, but they cannot jump on the opportunity.
Jordan Darling with the steal. Nice stop underneath the basket for Yvonne Fries. She now has 10 points.
Boy, that's nice to see. They had a 3-on-1 fast break. They went right to the big player to get the easy 2.
Move to the basket by Schilling. And then a foul called. Foul will be on Jamie Darling, her 2nd, team 4th. On the line, Brooke Schilling, 1 of 2 so far tonight from the charity stripe.
Again, the opportunities right now at the free throw line, the Cardinals need to take advantage of these.
Schilling knocks down the first. Brittany Johnson back in for the Burros. Brianna Heim back in for the Cardinals.
You pull it within 6 if you make this. And then she did. Now they have an opportunity now. They're only down by 6 with 12 minutes to play. Nice little run right now by the Cardinals.
Out of bounds. Burros throw it away. Cardinals now with the chance to cut the lead even more.
One problem the Burros have found themselves right now, they are turnover prone. They have 11 turnovers right now here, 5 of them here in the second half already.
You know, and I think some of that could be the fact that they don't really know who's playing out there on the floor. You know, you kind of get into a rhythm with some of your teammates, and you know where they're going to be when you throw the ball. When they're gone and somebody else is in there, you're not quite sure where the players are going to be.
A good call here by Coach Hyam right now for the Burros to pull a full court press now. Put some pressure on the Cardinals. Possibly force some turnovers. Force them into situations they're not comfortable in. Pick up the pace a little bit.
6-point lead for the Burros. Cardinals looking to chip away again. Heim with the bounce pass looking for Mundt. She had started to cut away, but came back for the pass. Reps From the elbow, that shot missed, and Jamie Darling with the rebound.
Nice opportunity there, just did not fall for the Cardinals.
Hungerholt picks up the loose ball. Two-pointer for Hungerholt. Out of bounds, Cardinal basketball.
And just like the first half, the Burros are starting to find themselves on a little bit of a lag right now for about a 5-minute span to help the Cardinals get back in this game. And I like the idea of putting a full court pressure on, making the Cardinals do something here. Gives the Burros an opportunities for some turnovers.
Herstad back in the game for the Cardinals. That shot underneath. Heim will head to the free throw line after getting fouled.
And I believe that's Freese's third.
And the 5th team foul on the Burros.
3 players right now for the Burros with 3 fouls. That's not a good thing to have right now, especially with 11 minutes left in this contest if you're a Burro fan.
And that's 3 of their starters, Brittany
Exactly.
Johnson, Melissa Hansen, and Yvonne Freese.
Well, the one thing that's not helping the Cardinals right now is the free throws. They are not making them, and that's not helping them in this cause.
That one goes in for Heim. She's now 2 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. It's a 5-point Burro lead. Johnson had the separation. And it's tipped away. Darling picks it up at half court.
Burros look a little frazzled right now. Like you said, it could be because they have different players in right now. They just are not into an offensive flow.
Foul is called on Schilling. That'll be her first. Only the 2nd team foul of the half. Number 45, Shariah Rinn, checking back in for the Cardinals.
That's one thing that's helped the Cardinals at least, is they're not in foul trouble. I mean, 2 players maybe have 2 fouls. Everybody else only has 1.
Yeah, Rinn and Muntz both have 2 fouls for the Cardinals. Hungerholt from outside. Misses. Good rebound by Freese.
Just powered it out of the Cardinals' hands.
Harstad. And now Rinn. Rebound by Freese.
Nice job by Freese to find the outlet. Now they go on a fast break.
Underneath, Johnson went up for the shot, and she was fouled.
Nice job there by the Burros. I believe it was McGrath who dribbled the ball up the court. She had a 2-on-1 fast break. She had the opportunity. She could have either gone with the left-handed layup or she passed it off. She had her head up looking for the open player. She did so, and then it gave them the opportunity for 2 free throws.
Brittany Johnson misses her first foul attempt of the night. Number 24, Judy Munt, back in for the Cardinals.
Johnson looks like one of those players that just does kind of like the grunt work. You know, she's not a scorer, but she does everything else that you need her to do.
Fortunately, misses both of the free throws for Lanesboro, and the loose ball picked up by the Cardinals.
Had them trapped on the sideline, just couldn't get the steal. Now they go a 3-2 fast break.
Outside shot was missed by Heim, and the Burros come away with it. Darling finally corrals the ball to Hungerholt. Hungerholt, baseline move, and a good shot.
Freshman gets a nice easy 2 right on the baseline, easy 5-footer.
6 points off the bench for Hungerholt, and then tipped out of bounds. Cardinal basketball.
You could tell the difference between the 2 clubs as far as speed goes. That one fast break the Burros had, they had 4 players down already. Lewiston only had 1 or 2 players. You can see not only they have the height, they have the speed. They got 2 qualities you really like to have in high school girls basketball.
Shot missed that time by Heim, and then stolen away by Schilling. Munt will take the 3. Rolls around, and then a rebound by Freese. Jump ball.
Almost got the job done, but there's a chance where Freese brought the ball down. As a taller player, you want to keep the ball up. Unfortunately for the Burros, it's a jump ball, and the ball goes back to the Cardinals.
Melissa Hansen and Jordan Darling back in for Lanesboro. Franzen and Reps back in for the Cardinals.
And I believe we got a moving pick violation.
foul that time on Judy Munt, her third.
First flare in foul trouble, and that's not good for the Cardinals, especially with Munt, who has been hot from the three-point line so far in this game.
She is the leading scorer for the Cardinals right now with 11 points. Johnson for three. Out of bounds, Cardinal basketball.
Just didn't have enough oomph on that one to get it to the rim.
Yeah, it fell short of the rim and hit the net on its way down.
She could say she had all net,
yeah.
but it just wasn't the right kind of all net that you want.
Reps has that one knocked away and out of bounds. Remains Cardinal basketball.
Good job by the defense. Again, you gotta like Jamie Darling for the Burros. She has been very aggressive throughout this contest, both on the offensive and defensive side.
You gotta think, as we watch this Cardinal basketball team with a record of 1-4, that if they could find some consistency on offense, they'd be a very dangerous team.
Absolutely right.
Franzen misses the shot, Freeze with the rebound, and it's stolen away underneath. Again, battle for the ball, jump ball, Burrow basketball.
You gotta like the scrappiness of the Cardinals, boy. They're going right after that ball. As soon as Freeze brings that ball down, she's had 2 or 3 players right on her right away.
Little conference by the referees.
I think they're double checking to make sure who's got possession of the ball, I believe.
Yeah, they're gonna come over to the scorer's table and find out.
Yep, I believe they're giving the ball to the Cardinals. I think they were saying something about there was a violation or something.
We'll try to get the explanation here.
Coach Hyam getting his 2 cents inward as well, because he's concerned that Freeze, when she has the ball, she's getting pounded in the outside when she gets that ball.
Cardinals will have the basketball. Three-pointer by Munt, long. Underneath, Franzen foul.
That was a good rebound again by Franzen. She has done a nice job on the inside battling the taller player. She has gotten some quality rebounds and some good shots inside the paint, and puts her on the free throw line to pull the Cardinals within possibly 5.
Franzen knocks down the first. That's her first free throw make of the game. Foul was called on Jordan Darling for Lanesboro, her first, team 6th. And Franzen 1 of 2.
Again, missed opportunities at the free throw line. If the Cardinals have made most of their free throws, this would be a tie ball game right now.
Darling with the pull-up jumper, no good, and the rebound by Rinn.
Just short shot that just couldn't get it up over the rim.
Reps with the jumper, short, but a good rebound by Harstad.
And she lost it, unfortunately. She had a good rebound and then a nice steal. Oh, my goodness. Munt did a nice job on a steal there to knock it off the Burrows' leg and get the Cardinals the ball.
The Cardinals in one of their good offensive spurts right now. Down by 6, looking to cut the lead. Harstad travels.
Yep, picked up the pivot foot before she dribbled the ball. It's one thing that we're seeing a lot this year is players really trying to step off that pivot foot before dribbling. It's a turnover every time. I believe that's the 8th turnover by Lewiston-Altura, only the 2nd this half.
Jordan Darling tried the move inside, missed the shot, but Freeze there to clean up, and now Yvonne Freeze with 12 points.
Boy, Freeze has done a nice job down low, and I believe we got a timeout.
Timeout by the Cardinals. 43-35, Lanesboro leads. We'll take a break on Channel 25. Back with more after this.
There are just a couple times in life when you are required to choose a new path for yourself. You want to go someplace new, but where you will belong. A place that elevates you to your highest potential. Winona State University is a place where you can make a difference in school and in life. Join in. Stand out.
The Lewiston-Altura Tournament Basketball on HBC TV is brought to you by Security State Bank in Lewiston, Wyckoff, Ostrander, Spring Valley, and Hoka. See Security State Bank for all your financial needs. A full-service bank, member FDIC.
Cardinals with the basketball across half court, and Rick, during that timeout, I saw something I don't think I've ever seen in high school basketball. Yvonne Freeze changed her shoes during that timeout.
It's like football, but you used to change the spikes in football. Maybe it's a little bit of a footing kind of a thing.
Oh, it's got to be the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes.
Foul is called on Jamie Darling.
She has 3. That's 4 players with 3 fouls for the Burros this afternoon.
Now the Burros are over the limit, 17 fouls. It'll be bonus the rest of the way for the Cardinals.
And this is where the Cardinals really need to take advantage. Now, every time they're fouled, they're going to get free opportunities at the free throw line to pull themselves closer with the Burros. They need to take advantage of these opportunities, and that time, unfortunately, Judy couldn't hit the rim.
She's now 1 for 3 from the free throw line, 12 points overall, and it's a 7-point lead for Lanesboro. Outside jumper by Johnson is short, out of bounds, remains Borough basketball.
Case in point, the opportunities that the Cardinals have had, they're 8 of 19 from the free throw line tonight. If they make half more of those, this contest is tied. And if they make all of them, the Cardinals have the lead in this.
Franzen with the steal. Munt down court. 7:13 left to go in the game. Harstad looking inside. Rinn able to get the ball back. Then Franzen from 3-land.
Oh, Franzen from outside and inside. She has done the job this afternoon for the Cardinals.
Franzen leads all scorers with 13 points. Pull-up jumper goes in for Darling.
Boy, when the Burros have needed something, it's been Darling. She has done the work on the defensive and offensive ends. Nice job by the senior, but here come the Cardinals.
Judy Munt now with 14 points for the Cardinals, and it's a 4-point lead.
I think the Cardinals, if they get something going here, they can surely smell it right now.
3-pointer missed by Jamie Darling. Saved from going out of bounds by Munt. Reps down court, 2 on 3, and she wisely pulls it out. Now Franzen for 3. Oh, 16 for Franzen.
The senior is really feeling it right now. Really feeling it.
Timeout called by the Burros as their lead has shrunk to 1. We'll take a break here on Channel 25. Back with more basketball action right after this.
If you are interested in any HBC production you've seen on Channel 25, copies can be ordered by contacting us at 507-474-5863 or by mailing a request to HBC Productions, 58 Johnson Street, Winona, Minnesota 55987.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of Hiawatha Broadband Communications Incorporated and cannot be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game or event cannot be disseminated without the express written consent of HBC. Back at McCown Gymnasium, this back-and-forth battle between the Lanesboro Burros and the Lewiston-Altura Cardinals. Once again, Rick swinging the Cardinals' way. Right now, exactly. In a minute and a half, almost 2-minute span right now, the Cardinals have outscored the Burros by 9-2. And has really brought them back within this game contest. Their defense has caused a couple of bad turnovers by the Burros, and right now they almost got one there. Just got the pass in within the time. Hansen will back up. Now over to Jamie Darling. If the Burros want to, I would just go right back inside, use their height to their advantage. Freeze gets the rebound and the putback. Just like that. You get the easy 2-shot points from your big people. You go to their top players. You know, Darling and Freeze have led them pretty much throughout this entire contest. Outside jumper is good for Brooke Schilling. That's her first field goal of the night. She has 5 points. And the Cardinals, you know, they could sense a possible upset here, and this would be an upset if the Cardinals won this game. Hansen trying to work on reps. Got away with a little bit of a carry there, but nice job by the Burros. Resetting things up. Go inside, outside. Go to the inside player, try it, and if she's not open, go back outside for the jumper. Had her open. Ooh, Schilling went for the steal. It wasn't there. Missed shot. The putback is no good. First shot by Jamie Darling, then Jordan Darling couldn't connect. And now it's Cardinal basketball.
everything is set up for the Burros. They're winning the rebounding. They're getting good shot opportunities. It's just right now, the second half, again, they just cannot find that little extra effort to finish all their plays. And right now, things are going the Cardinals' direction.
Sarah Pekanovsky back in for the Cardinals. She has the ball right now. Pekanovsky now over to Schilling. Schilling for Heim, and then Franzen from outside. What a dangerous shooter from outside.
She's made 8 points in a row right now, and that gives the Cardinals, I believe, their first lead in this entire contest.
48-47, Cardinals with the lead. Darling will swing it over, and Jamie Darling will get the ball. 48-47, Cardinals with the lead. Shot underneath is no good, and a foul called underneath the basket.
Got her with the body, I believe. Yep, they've got Franzen. That's her first, which is a surprise for as much battling she's had to go on the inside. But again, the height of the Burros has really come into play here. And when they've taken advantage, they've taken advantage. When they have the advantage, they have really taken advantage of that opportunity.
Jordan Darling knocks down the first free throw as Angela Harstad, number 23, checks back in for the Cardinals. Darling 1 of 2, but Freeze there for the putback.
Boy, Freeze wanted that rebound. You could sense it right off the line there. She had used her long arms, grabbed that ball, and put the Burros back up on the lead.
Stripped of the ball was Schilling, and the ball goes out of bounds. Number 43, Paige Hungerholt, checks back in for Lanesboro.
Bringing a little more athleticism on the floor.
Cardinals will get another chance.
Cardinals need to answer here.
Inside Heim, and she just throws it away.
The last 2 or 3 opportunities the Cardinals have had, they've gone inside, outside, inside, outside. They've gotten an outside shots opportunity for Franzen. That time, unfortunately, Heim just tried to press a little bit and threw that ball away on the turnover. 10th turnover over the afternoon so far for the Cardinals.
Alyssa Hansen with the bounce pass to Johnson, looking inside for Freeze. Hook shot is good. 18 points now for Yvonne Freeze.
She's come back and answered the call here. As soon as her Burros were down, she came back up. She's got 4 straight points now.
Franzen underneath the hoop. She has 20.
Whatever you can do, I can do better. Franzen answers Freeze's 2 with her own 2 and pulls them back within 2.
Hungerholt misses. Freeze can't get it, then Hungerholt fouled.
Burrow's doing a nice job just keeping their hands up straight. Hungerholt's one of them. Keeping their hands up straight, getting those rebounds and not bringing the ball down, just putting it right back up right away.
Brooke Heim called for the foul for the Cardinals. Her second, team 6th, as Hungerholt knocks down the free throw. Hungerholt 1 of 2, 2 of 4 on the night. Down court, and that one is good for Schilling.
Caught the Burros defense sleeping on that one.
Back to a 1-point lead for the Burros. Hansen over to Hungerholt. Now Johnson, top of the key. Darling inside for Freeze, turnaround shot. Battle for the rebound, won by the Cardinals and Heim.
Oh, she knew it too. She carried that ball. She got a bad bounce, and it just came up to the shoulders. She knew it too. Bad opportunity, lost opportunity for the Cardinals there. Bad break for the Cardinals there.
Yeah, they had a chance to take the lead again. And unfortunately now down again by 1 as the Burros have the ball. Hansen calling the play.
Inside-outside game, go inside the Freeze.
2-pointer for Johnson, misses. Darling putback doesn't go. Freeze underneath.
Boy, I tell you, that height advantage right there has just killed the Cardinals.
Saved from going out of bounds by Schilling. Harstad. Now over to Franzen. Inside Heim, back outside Harstad.
Nice job there by Harstad. Nice. She had the open 15-footer. She moved it in closer and got the easy 2.
Just the second field goal for Harstad tonight. 4 points. Again, a 1-point lead. 1:40 to go. Johnson.
Cardinals 1 turnover away from taking the lead, and they're going to catch the body foul called. I believe is going to be called on Heim.
And for Heim, that'll be her 3rd, team 7th, bonus time for the Burros.
Both teams in bonus the rest of the way. Now, again, it's going to be who wins it on the free throw line.
Freeze has not hit a free throw tonight, 0 for 3. And what a time to knock down your first.
I was just going to say the same thing. Perfect timing to hit the first one.
And that one just doesn't roll in. Rebound by Franzen.
Cardinals right away, 2-on-1 fast break opportunity. Just couldn't finish it off. They'll have to set up their offense. Only down by 2.
That was off Darling and a steal by Hansen.
Bad turnover by the Cardinals. Had an opportunity right there, and the turnover right back.
Well, Hansen came across the timeline and just paused enough to throw her rhythm off and travels. Timeout called. 2-point lead for the Burros. We'll take a break on Channel 25. Back with more after this.
We service your phone. We brought cable to your home. We set up your internet just like you wanted. And when you needed help, there was someone local to guide you through your problem. That kind of trust isn't easily given. It's earned through years of hard work. So when you recommend our services to your friends, we believe you both should be rewarded. With our Refer a Friend program, whenever you bring someone over to HBC services, you both can save on your next bill. It's just another way HBC appreciates our customers. HBC, get to know us.
2-point lead for Lanesboro as we take a look at the Cardinal huddle, and head coach Greta Verthine trying to find a way to get back into this game again. And Justin Barrientos alongside Rick Thiesse here on HBC Channel 25. No matter what happens in this game, whoever wins, it's going to be a game of missed opportunities.
Oh, both for both sides, absolutely. Now the pressure's on the Cardinals. What do you do? Do you go? The last about 5 minutes, they've gone the inside-outside game. They've gone inside to Heim, and Heim's been able to punch it out either to Munt or to Franzen. If they can't kind of open up that offense again and get an opportunity, they could either take the lead or tie the game. Now the question is, what do you do? Do you go for the outside shot or try and force it inside to possibly get a foul? Or an easy 2 on the layup?
Cardinals camping out outside right now, looking to see what they can get. Harstad goes inside for Franzen, blocked by Darling, out of bounds, and it is Cardinal basketball.
Boy, I tell you, when the Burros have needed something, Darling has really stepped it up. Nice defensive job there by Darling. She didn't try and she didn't push the body down or anything. She stayed straight up and got the nice block.
Inbound pass to Munt. Now Harstad from outside, and we're under a minute to go. Freeze with the rebound. Hansen jump stop.
Boy, nice job there by the Burros to push that up, and Hansen, a nice job. I think she could have pulled it back out, but they got the easy 2 and put them back up by 4 now.
Munt just off on the 3-point try, but Schilling there to grab the rebound. Now Munt backing in, misses the shot from the block.
Forced it up a little bit, not a smart shot. The Cardinals forced that shot, and now it puts the Burros on the free throw line for a one-on-one bonus. That last 2 possessions, the Cardinals looked like they were rushing things a little too much. Unfortunately for them, things didn't fall their way and put the Burros on the free throw line to shoot one-on-one.
Jordan Darling checks back in for Paige Hungerholt, and Jamie Darling will find herself on the free throw line.
That was Judy Munt's 4th foul, and so that's not a good thing for the Cardinals to have their 3-point shooter with 4 fouls now.
Darling short, tried to get her own rebound, but Heim there to grab it for the Cardinals.
Cardinals need a shot quickly.
Munt and a foul, a timeout called by the Cardinals as they got across half court. And it is a 4-point lead for the Cardinals. Well, just a reminder, this is the first of 4 games that we will cover here on HBC Channel 25. First of 5 games in the opener of this holiday basketball tournament. Coming up in just a little bit, Mabel Canton will take on the Lewiston-Altura boys. That tip expected somewhere around 3:15 tonight. We'll follow that one with Winona Senior High girls against St. Paul Johnson at 5 o'clock, and then we will cap things off later tonight with the Winona Cotter boys against Onalaska Luther at 8:30.
And don't forget, Lewiston-Altura Tournament Basketball on HBC TV is brought to you by Security State Bank, Lewiston, Wyckoff, Ostrander, Spring Valley, and Hoka. See Security State Bank for all your financial needs, a full-service bank, member FDIC.
And another reminder here, this game will be replayed tomorrow as on Channel 25, 10:30 a.m. this Lewiston-Altura versus Lanesboro girls game. The boys getting ready, as we said, to tip off about 3:15 this afternoon.
Should be some good contests. The first one is a good start so far this afternoon. 58-54 contest. The Cardinals really need a good shot right now.
4-point lead for Lanesboro, but the Cardinals inbounding. They find Muntz, now Franzen. Over to Schilling, three-pointer by Schilling.
Wow.
Just short, Franzen grabs the rebound. And a foul called in the paint. Jamie Darling had the ball.
Yep, they're going to call it foul on the Cardinals, I believe, on the body.
Heim, her fourth.
Boy, they had the opportunities there. Franzen had the shot opportunity there. And again, Jamie Darling with the good block, good defense. Jamie Darling has done it all around this afternoon in this contest for the Burros.
14 points, 2 of 5 from the free throw line, and now a couple more attempts as Darling knocks down the first.
Darling, a senior guard. Senior leadership has really stepped it up here, especially in the second half.
1 of 2 that time as Brooke Heim grabs the rebound. Three-pointer by Schilling, and that hits the top of the backboard.
That danced on the top of the backboard, just didn't go her way. Again, last couple of shots for the Cardinals unfortunately have been rushed, and that has probably, with 4.6 seconds left to play, given the lead and the victory to the Burros.
It will be Cardinal basketball with 1.9 seconds, but to see what happens here. Harstad will inbound for the Cardinals if they can get a quick shot. Need to inbound first. Muntz with a 3 at the buzzer, and Lanesboro comes away with the 59-54 victory over Lewiston-Altura. We'll take a break on Channel 25. Back to wrap this one up right after this.
Gold's Pharmacy has been proudly serving your community since 1888. Gold's Pharmacy offers its customers fast and efficient service with the use of today's newest technology. Gold's Pharmacy has fast access to your records and medicine history, so you can be confident that your prescriptions are safe and accurate. Gold's also offers a variety of medical supplies for your convenience. For example, let our helpful staff fit you with medical stockings tailored for your individual needs. Gold's Pharmacy, proudly serving your community since 1888.
College is one of the first times in life where you choose your own path. You want an environment with a lot of opportunities to explore. And you want personal attention and small group experiences where you can make a real impact. Winona State University is a place where you can make a difference in school and in life. Join in. Stand out.
Final score here at McCown Gymnasium, the Lanesboro Burros with a 59-54 win over the Lewiston-Altura Cardinals. They will now play on Tuesday at noon against the winner of the Cochran-Fountain City Plainview-Elgin-Millville girls game, which will come up tomorrow, or excuse me, Monday on McCown Gymnasium. Well, Lanesboro, impressive for not having a full roster here tonight.
Impressive, especially, and balanced scoring. 3 players in double figures. Yvonne Fries, the big 6-footer, led the way with 21. Jamie Darling, who played both well offensively and defensively, at 15. Melissa Hansen, a quiet 13 points for the Burros. And so they did a nice job. Again, they used their height to their advantage, used their hands very well. The Cardinals just battled and battled and battled, just didn't have quite enough. Alyssa Franzen with 20 for the Cardinals. Judy Munt with 14. That was pretty much most of the offense And the unfortunate thing for the Cardinals, the last minute and 19 seconds left to play, they did not score after pulling their team within one and taking the lead. After that, they just couldn't get over the hump, and the Burros did what they could and got the victory.
And that was basically the story of the game for Lewiston-Altura, as they would go in spurts and score, then they would go in droughts, and those droughts really cost them here tonight.
Absolutely, it did. That's absolutely for sure. Now we get another contest that we'll have to see what happens this afternoon.
That's right. The Lewiston-Altura girls fall to Lanesboro 59-54. The Lewiston-Altura boys are coming up here on HBC Channel 25. They will take on Mabel Canton with the expected tip right around 3:15 here this afternoon. That's going to wrap up our coverage of Game 1 of the holiday tournament. For Rick Thiesse and our entire HBC crew, I'm Justin Barrientos. Thanks for joining us here this afternoon. Stay tuned at 3:15. Lewiston-Altura boys against Mabel Canton coming up.